lots of ways to be successful. And I ran out of shop and did work for a city near where I lived because I needed work for all the people I hired. So, you know, if that's the worst they can do, I'll take it. You know, it's okay. But it's hard. It's hard sometimes, you know. Sorry. My sister lives right here in Groton, incidentally, if that's worth a vote or two. I think it ought to be, you know. My sister Robin and David, he was as an athletic, he just retired after 25 years from Groton High School. And my sister Robin worked at Cornell where she graduated. She was in labor relations. And I have aunts and uncles in Ithaca and come here quite often. But as you may or may not know, this district is huge. It goes from Geneva, Tioga, Broome County, all of Herkimer County, Oneida, and everything in between, Otsego, Seneca, Cayuga, Shenango. It's 11 counties. And it's really hard to manage because there's 3 media markets, so that it's very expensive to advertise and get your message out. Another reason why an incumbent has such an edge in this district is because they have name recognition and it's so expensive to build your own. But I think I'm the right guy for the times. I'm excited because, you know, adversity is a great thing if you love trouble. And I kind of do. I like the idea of being involved when things are bad, because when they're good, Mr. Arcuri can handle it. It doesn't require much. But when they're bad, it takes people like me to get involved.
I'll ask you a question. So how does a successful businessman like yourself go into a Congress with many career politicians and convince them to do business differently?
Well, like you already guessed, you're 400, you're 1 out of 435. And I think that the system really is designed to not just protect the incumbency, but give power to people who've been there longer and all of that. But you know, let me ask the reverse of that question. If you don't try, does that mean we're doomed to have what we have? I think it does. I think that if there's me, maybe there's 30 or 40 other people out there that are willing to stand up to the leadership and say, compromise is not a dirty word, that everything that Obama wants isn't evil, and everything you think isn't good. That someplace in the road we have to do what we're paid to do, fix the future for our children. Because if we don't, my kids may or may not be all right, but they ain't going to grow up in the world I grew up in. They're going to grow up in a much diminished place, and they're going to inherit an amount of debt that is shameful, immoral. I don't have a good answer. I know that I'm not willing to say yes to everybody for any reason. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm perfectly happy getting fired in 2 years if I don't like the job, or if I'm not doing the job, or if people, you know, there's someone else who's better. My goal is to see if I can make a difference, because I simply am one of those people who has the time and the energy and I think the talent to try. And I'd suggest, you know, everybody here ought to look into running for public office. It shouldn't, it's hard, but look, it used to be a public service, you know, it was an honor. But now people come to me and they say, why would you want to join that crappy crowd? And I think about that and I think, my God, it's the very fact that they ask that question that makes me want to do it. Because it shouldn't be a shameful thing to be a politician. It should be a source of pride. And it should be something we all aspire to at some point in our life, to do some kind of public service. We all do in many ways. But the idea that politics has become a dirty word, it's easy to understand, but it's unfortunate. So, you know, Betsy, right? I mean, it's nice of you guys to be here. I think we have a chance to win this election. And my goal is in 2 years to come back here and see you at a similar kind of event and have you say, you did this, why did you do that? You know, what were you thinking? And be able to tell me in a way that makes you feel like I didn't politicize your future. Right now, the guy we got politicizes your future. And I've said it to his face, I'm happy to. And I don't think he's alone, incidentally. He's not unique. It's just that the whole system is like that. You see it at the state level. Do we really need all these people there? Do they really produce any value for us? or do things continually go downhill? And I say this to Betsy, the committee system of the Republican, Democrat, Independence parties, and the Conservative Party, they need to make their candidates accountable. We send the same people back because they're the only people that want to go back. And you spend time and energy and money, and you have dinners, and you have fundraisers for these people that some of them you wouldn't hire to mow your lawn. But yet there they are, and we help them do it, and we reward them in the process. We need to stop reinforcing mediocrity. We need to demand more for these people. What does it say about a society when the best, last paying jobs are political jobs? They should be average pay. They shouldn't be at the top of the scale. And how that's happened is because we're going down and they're going up. It's just the way it's become. You know that. So, anyway, anything else? I drive if you look at this, I have a 1950 Chevy pickup truck that I love. It's, I'm a pilot, incidentally, so I've flown into Cortland Airport, if anybody ever wants a ride. And, you know, I fly to Washington when I go, sometimes, and, you know, I guess it's easy to do nothing for a guy like me. It's not something I want to do. I really think that these are times when it's important to stand up and be counted and make a difference. And if you watch somebody sick die slowly, I think that sometimes you don't notice. People are noticing now that New York State is slowly dying. Chris Christie in New Jersey, who's a friend of mine, someone I've met a few times, is there today not because people wanted it, but because people needed it. They needed somebody with character, who was willing to make them sacrifice, understood the problems, the urgency, and they're willing to take it. New York State's answer to that is Carl Palladino. You know, these are times when you're going to see a lot of strange things happen, and we're going to take it because we've kind of run out of options. So, anyway, if you can think about voting for me or talk it up, or you want to contribute online, I'm not supposed to solicit, but that's what I do too. So, all right. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.